In this video, I am going to be talking about intermittent fasting. What is intermittent fasting? It is the absence of food during a prescribed period of time. When you eat, insulin is secreted by the pancreas to push the sugar into the cell. Most sugar from the diet is stored in the liver and as muscle glycogen. When we exceed the storage site, the excess amount of carbohydrate is stored as fat. When we are fasting, the insulin levels are low and the body can knock down the fat stores for providing constant supply of energy. As compared to the weight loss products and pills, intermittent fasting is one of the cheapest, safe, simple and flexible methods of weight loss. People who are following intermittent fasting skip breakfast and they are able to reduce their total day's calorie intake by up to 20 to 40%. The typical time period recommended is 16 to 18 hours, which means 16 hours is a fasting window and 8 hours is a feeding window. There are some strategies on how you can go about it. Reducing the calorie intake up to 20 to 40% fuels your body. 20% means fueling your body fat stores to be used by the body as energy source. Intermittent fasting also helps spike up your growth hormone levels, which actually help in lean muscle formation. Intermittent fasting also helps in lowering the blood pressure. It also helps in improving the serum cholesterol levels. Along with this, it also helps in the long-term prevention of Alzheimer's and also prevention from cancer-causing substances. But one should always make sure that intermittent fasting does not benefit all population. You have to make sure that whether it works for you or not. It's the most important point before you start, whether it's intermittent or any of the diet you are following. So who needs to avoid it? If you are a child or you are an adolescent, if you are someone who is more than 70 years of age, if you are a pregnant or lactating woman, if you are someone suffering from chronic kidney disease or renal failure, if you are someone who is having cardiovascular disease risk, if you are suffering from any of the eating disorders like anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, or you have been recently hospitalized, or you are someone who is having low BMI, which is your body mass index, which means your body weight is low as compared to your present height. Intermittent fasting means that you are not eating at all, but that doesn't mean that you cannot have the intake of fluids. For example, you can sip water throughout the entire fasting window, and when you break your fasting window, which is your fed window, so you can start eating all the whole foods, healthy fats, healthy protein in your diet. For example, you can consume nuts, you can consume whole pulses, you can also include milk and low-fat dairy products in your diet. For healthy fats, you can switch to nuts and seeds, avocados, olive oil, flax seeds. All these are very good sources of healthy fats. You can also switch to emulsified fats. You have to pay attention to the unprocessed carbohydrates, and you also have to make sure that you stay well hydrated when you break your fasting window. Now, how you can start your intermittent fasting window? You can start with 13 to 12, which is 13 hours fasting and 12 hours feeding window, and every day you can reduce your feeding window by 1 hour till you reach the 16:8 hours frame of fasting and feeding. Along with water in your fasting window, you can also consume herbal tea. You must always consult your doctor before you start intermittent fasting, and it would take approximately 6 to 8 weeks to see the full benefits of what you are doing. So intermittent fasting is one of the safe, simple and flexible methods that you can go on with.